Welcome to this track guide for Rye House kart circuit using the ADX Rotax Max Evo. This kart has 30 horsepower and sticky slick tyres in the dry, and we're going to run through the lap 3 times. First at full speed with no edits, and then a more detailed look at the circuit showing you all of the key braking, turn-in and apex points. And finally one more run through at full speed to cement everything we learned on the first 2 laps. So as we cross the start line to begin our flying lap, we move to the left and stay full throttle into turn 1, running wide to the middle of the track before cutting back to the apex. It's then full throttle across the curbs, looking for the braking point for the first hairpin, hard on the brakes, hitting the apex and early on the power on the exit using all the track. Over to the left, brake and then kiss the apex here at the second hairpin. We then have a short straight where we pull the car over to the right hand side and then use as much curb as possible through the pylon corner, little dab of the brakes to get close to the curb on the inside, and then bringing the car over to the right to swing back to the left using all the curb through the final chicane, and then a full throttle blast back to the start line. Now let's look at that same lap again, but this time pausing at all of the key areas to make sure you know all of the hints and tips to help you get the fastest possible time at this track. So as before, we're full throttle across the start line, and it's very important to be all the way to the left-hand side, ready to carry full throttle into turn 1. We then get to the curb on the inside, and for a short period we stay at the apex before running wide to this seam in the middle of the track. We don't want to run all the way wide because we'd be covering unnecessary distance. We then hit the apex on the inside, again very important to use the full width of the curb to allow you to get on the power as early and as hard as possible. Using all of the next curb here as well, it's full throttle through there, and we're braking just at the end of this brick area on the right hand side. Hard on the brakes in a straight line, you'll hear the rear tyres chattering, and then in towards the apex of this very tight hairpin. It's a middle apex rather than a late one here because it's a very short straight following, and we use all of the track width and more on the exit to really maximise our exit speed. All the way to the left and then another nice clean apex at the inside of the second hairpin to allow you to get on the power early with the wheels as straight as possible on the exit. We've got a medium length straight here, we pull the car over to the right hand side, and although we're full throttle into the chicane here, the key is to really get as close to the yellow and black blocks as possible without clipping them and sending the kart into the air. It's then a dab of the brakes to allow us to get halfway up this raised curb on the right hand side. Any more curb than this and the kart will run wide early. We then pull over to the right hand side, getting close to the white line here to take a very straight line into the final chicane. Using all of the width on both sides but being careful not to touch the tyres, you can get a very fast exit back onto the main straight if your inside tyre is almost hanging off the inside of the track here, and it's then time to get the steering wheel straight, plant your foot to the floor and blast across the line one more time. So lastly, let's watch the lap one more time with no voiceover, and then you'll be ready to race. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing, and why not check out some of these other great videos from the channel.